Have you ever wondered what creatures lurk within tide pools? Do they hide to avoid predators, or do they venture out into the open in a search for food? Let's explore the beauty of tide pools, including the unseen battles and interactions that are unveiled as we take a dive beneath the surface. This first pool was very rich in life, with a number of different organisms growing all over its walls. All of this vegetation provides a healthy refuge for these stripies and blennies. Beneath this tiny ledge, there was a ton of action going on. Here you can see a school of stripies, and then a black spot sergeant major zips around and spooks them. And then in the bottom right corner, some peacock blennies emerge into frame. Blennies are some of the coolest fish you'll see, with their iconic facial expressions and the fleshy filaments on their head that resemble antennae. Although highly secretive, crabs are one of the most common creatures in rock pools. Their sturdy, pointed legs allow them to grip almost any surface, letting them feed while hanging upside down. Fish in rock pools are always on high alert and will retreat beneath crevices even from the presence of a shadow. The sunlight shining down into this pool brought out the true colours of this small-scale ecosystem. Many of the fish that you see within tide pools are juveniles, as the rocky environment dampens the power of waves and provides shelter from larger predators. Once the time is right, they may exit on a high tide, entering the bay. If we travel further down the coast and visit some tide pools that are more exposed to the open ocean, we can expect to see some familiar and also new critters. This is a sea cucumber in action. It uses its tentacles to eat algae and detritus from the sea floor. In the process, it also ends up digesting sand, which actually releases calcium carbonate and supports the survival of coral reefs and shell-building marine creatures. This just goes to show the importance of every organism in these environments. I was initially focused on this hermit crab, so I was shocked to see this marine flatworm traversing the sandy floor of the rock pool. What was even more astounding was when it literally crawled over the face of this moray eel. You can just make out the eel's head popping out of its burrow, and luckily it didn't view the flatworm as food. Honestly, this was such a cool interaction to see, and it's just crazy to think what goes on when we're not looking. Of course, you can't look past all of the incredible corals and algae that underpin the entire rock pool food web. These organisms support and provide primary production, enabling energy flow throughout the whole ecosystem. It's always an exciting moment when you come across a cluster of hermit crabs. And although they're sluggish most of the time, it just takes one to be active in order to grab your attention. The sand below this boulder had been washed out, creating a nice shelter for these fish. This mottled lightfoot crab was in for a surprise when he walked in front of an Australian blue swimmer crab. When it comes to living in tiny rock pools with limited food resources, it's common for crabs to be aggressive with one another. Instead of having scales, blennies are covered with slimy skin, which allows them to squeeze into tight crevices. This here is a toadstool leather coral. You can see all of the tentacle-like polyps that compose it. Right beside it are possibly some juvenile leather corals. This may be a honeycomb coral, and this one at the bottom could be a green button polyp. I was able to get a cool close-up of this crab. You can see her maxillipeds moving rapidly, used for both feeding and to help her sense the environment. You might be able to make out a clutch of orange eggs being held underneath her abdomen. The eggs will become much darker when they're ready to hatch, and they'll emerge as planktonic larvae before they develop into juvenile crabs. In this pool there was a white band damselfish, which as you can see is very territorial. This damselfish could either be farming its own patch of algae or guarding a nest of eggs, making sure that there are no unwanted intruders. That marks the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed uncovering the mysteries of tide pools.